I think, yeah.
Okay, so I didn't have time to prepare a text.
Oh.
So it's going to be a little rough. But it just means we have to go slower. Okay, so bear with me, okay? When I spent 3 hours figuring it out before, I looked smart. But now I have to spend that time here. So here we go. And that's the way it is at the end of the term, you know. Like I go into the term with a little bit of stuff in storage, but by the time at the end of the term, I'm like desperate.
Sashi
Puki Jushin Meto Chan Rira Bimshi Nirne Gyempadi Sangye Shindu Mite Uwagi Joku Nanda Shingla Chuparsho Inam Guru Radha Mandala Kanya Dayami
Sangye
Chedam Soki Chonam La Chanchu Bardu Dagni Kapsuchi Dagi Chunyen Gipe Sunam Ki Jola Penchir Sangye Druparsho
Sangye
Chedam Soki Chonam La Chanchu Bardu Dagni Kapsuchi Daki Chunyen Gipe Sunam Ki Jola Penchir Sangye Druparsho
Sangye
Chedam Soki Chonam La Chanchu Bardu Dagni Kapsuchi Daki Chunyen Gipe Sunam Ki Jola Penchir Sangye Druparsho. So I'm going to go back to the line that we just finished before. If you can, so this is the guy who said lo me, meaning what?
You say there's no mind when Narya goes into the direct.
Yeah, you have to add that. When an eye is in the direct perception of emptiness. What about if you say lo yut?
I'm not going to waste my time.
Oh, I'll kiss you, but your wife is here. Okay, yeah, exactly. I'm not going to waste my time on you. If you think there's a lo with a nangwa,
An appearance.
with a positive appearance, then, you know, I don't need to talk to you. But if you say there's no mind, that's more interesting because so many people have thought that. And that's worth refuting. Okay, soke la nisa nawe lo. So this is, the last sentence we had was one argument in favor of saying that there is some kind of lo there. Okay, there is some kind of mind there. Maybe it's not the one with the nangwa that you said. Okay, maybe it's one with a megak, right? With an absence, that's focusing on an absence. Okay, but there is a mind. Okay, so then he says, well, do non-Aryas have minds? Yeah, what kind of minds they have? Ninang.
The two appearances, discrepancies, minds.
Yeah, you can say it, who have two contradictory
viewpoints, points, appearances,
aspects going on. Okay, what's the two contradictory aspects?
They're deceived by
the husband who yelled at me looks like
he's
coming from his own side, but actually I know he's not. So there's a discrepancy between those two perceptions.
Oh, but we're talking about the discrepancies in a so-so kyewo, then we don't even know that he's not, right?
Well, we're just positing the possibility. Okay. Do you believe that people who have yet to reach Arya have this kind of discrepancy going on? Do you agree? He says, yeah, I do. Yeah. Then, so do they have lo? Do they have a mind?
They do.
And he says, yeah. By the way, your lo is totally different from his lo.
Right.
He's talking buddhi, mahat. You know, lo can be a pretty confusing thing.
Yeah.
Your problem, one of your problems is you got also lo wang. You got lo wangbo also.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, the indriyas.
Then it's manas.
Manas.
Yeah. First it was buddhi, in the second
sucks.
one, and then it becomes manas.
Yeah, that's frustrating.
Yeah, it's very frustrating. And now his law is a different thing.
Yeah.
So anyway,
It's just a mind
Opposed
that,
to,
so if there does exist laws, states of mind among people who haven't got to the direct perception of emptiness yet, which are
in a
Well,
state of discrepancy.
or something like that,
Living
then why can't we say mishak, chichir mishak? Why can't we posit? This is joke. This is a tense of the verb joke. Why cannot we posit bijak? Why can't we posit a mind for an Arya in the direct perception of emptiness,
that's free
which
of-
is free of that? You know, why can't you talk about that mind?
yeah.
In fact, if you modify the mind of a person who hasn't reached Arya yet, right, then you're implying that there's the opposite.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see, if you say a mind which is messed up,
It is messed up in this,
then you must be implying a mind
which
is not messed up. Once you add the word which is not messed up, clause, adjective clause, then you automatically you're implying there's a state of mind which is not messed up. So what's the problem?
Yeah.
What's the problem?
Like why
What
you
kind
gotta
of
say
problem?
there's no
Yeah,
mind.
why you say there's no mind?
Is
Okay.
it us talking
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
talking to
Gyaltsab
the
Jai.
bad guy. Gyaltsab Jai's talking to the bad guy.
The Frankie version.
Then he said, it's implied here. Gyaltsab Jai's, there's an implied response here, which is that lo tsam la ni nangi kyaba. Lo yuna ni nangi lo yinbe kyab.
There is a mind.
No, lo yina, not yuna.
low yin.
Oh, yeah.
Lo yina.
Oh, it is a mind.
If something is a mind,
yeah, if something is
then
a,
ni nangi lo yinbe kyab. Then it must be a state of mind which has that discrepancy.
yeah. I
You
get
know, so then he came back with that.
Mhm.
Okay, he came back with that. We said, if you're going to talk about a messed up mind, then you're implying there's a non-messed up mind. And he said, no,
Mhm.
I'm saying mind and messed up mind are synonyms.
Right. Right.
You know, if it's a state of mind, it has to be a messed up mind.
Cool.
Okay,
There's no
which
such
is a
thing.
reasonable response. It's not an
Sure.
unreasonable
I was
response.
thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I was too.
Yeah.
And so he came back with, no, when I say messed up mind, I'm talking every state of mind.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we say, kantayan du minute,
Uh,
but you can't prove that. You know, that's not something you could ever prove. Okay. There's no circumstance under which you could prove that. Dewa me pe chiro, because then there would be no connection.
Boy.
And I just sat on it for a while and I thought, I think, okay, now it's just my theory, okay? Is a Sosokewa connected to a Pakpa?
well,
Oh yeah, great.
sure.
Right. Only
Yeah.
if there's a mind to connect them.
Yeah, all non-Ayas become Ayas.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so, yeah, there must be a connection between non-Ayas and Ayas. Okay,
Cause and effect on every touch.
well, that's deeper. We're not going there. Okay, so if it's that all minds, if you're gonna say that now, that all minds are messed up minds,
Mhm.
then non-Aryas don't become Aryas.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Does he? He's,
Not connected.
Then
That's
there's
basically
no
what
connection between the Arya in the direct perception of emptiness and the non-Arya he used to
Right.
be, that he
Because there's
used to
no-
be.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing to tie them together now. Okay, he doesn't talk more about it.
yeah.
Okay, and you can, I'm just speculating, basically.
So when translating that, I mean, I guess there's some kind of middle way between putting too much that he's not saying in, but also kind of guiding it to make sense.
Yeah, especially here, especially with Gyaltsab J, I don't think it's fair to your reader not to give some speculation here.
A little bit.
Because it's too, the leaps of his intellect are too big. Your reader won't be able to read it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't get it.
I wouldn't be able to read
Why are we
code.
going to that? You might want to help them a little bit. If the whole book is like this, you might have to end up writing a
Commentary.
sentence between every sentence that says this is why he's saying this or something.
In like italics or something.
Yeah,
Or something.
yeah. It's possible the book will be so bad that we need that.
I was just thinking
I think
Like a
Word's
sutra.
book looks like it's going to head that way. That it just won't be comprehensible unless you have a running commentary of some kind. Okay,
Mhm.
which is more than we intended, but
It still makes for an
because
awesome book.
those are. Anytime you make your own comment to Gyaltsen, there's a danger of saying something wrong.
completely misinterpreting it.
No, misinterpreting is one thing, but anytime a Westerner writes a comment to a Tibetan text, they usually make some mistakes in the comment. So, Okay, Deta Mina. Now we're into new territory for me. I'll have to think about this stuff because I've read it once, but not much. Deta Mina, Nyamshak na Nina Yepe Tanya Rikpa Gyurte. If that were not the case, okay, what? I don't know yet. If that were not the case, then Nyamshak na implied Pakpe Nyamshak,
Right.
okay, in the meditation of an Arya on emptiness, it would be appropriate, Rikpargyur, next line, it would be appropriate to speak of Tanye, okay, to use the term, they have the discrepancy. You see, if it were not this way, then it would be appropriate to mention the discrepancy in the same breath that you're talking about the Arya's meditation. Okay. Well, then the guy says, "Why do you say that?" And we say, because it is appropriate to speak of mind. Okay. By the way, that's easy because it's gonna come in the next sentence. Okay. We didn't prove it yet.
Mm-hmm.
We're about to prove it. Okay. He would like to say you can't use the word mind in connection with an Arya's direct perception of emptiness. But this argument presupposes that it is okay, and then he's going to prove why. Okay. So this sentence says, according to you, it would be appropriate to speak of the discrepancy for an Arya who's in the direct perception of emptiness.
Right.
And then he's going to say chicha.
Yeah.
And then why you say that? And we're going to say, because it is appropriate to speak of a mind during the direct perception of emptiness by an Arya. And he just got through saying, when I say mind, I mean messed up mind.
Right.
Okay? When I say messed up mind, I'm not implying, it's not a mayinga. I'm not implying
Some other
a state of mind which is not messed up.
He's just qualifying the word.
When you're
mind.
not messed up, you don't have mind anymore. Got it?
Yep.
So now we say, well then if when you say mind, you always mean messed up mind, okay?
Yeah.
Then it must be appropriate to speak of an Arya's direct perception of emptiness as messed up.
Yep. Yep.
And then he says, why? I mean, we just went over that.
Yeah. Right.
And we say, no, because he does have a mind.
Right.
And then he says, well, I told you I don't agree with that from the beginning.
Right.
And then we say, this is a very famous expression. Nyingje senda nisu melodong, shepadang, diryang detar sungbechu. Nyingje senda nisu melodong is a line from Chandakirti.
Oh.
It's from Majjhimakavattara. And there's a long discussion of it by Tsongkhapa, which I've already finished.
Oh, cool. So I can go find it. And go
Yeah. So in the Gombarabsa and in Chandakirti, Umalajupa, Majjhimakavattara, let's go get the Majjhimakavattara. I put references here. Yeah, so I'm gonna.
It's Jason Kappa's commentary.
Illumination. Okay. Now to do Jason Kappa's illumination, I had to translate entering the middle way, right?
The whole thing. Yeah.
Well, I'm translating it as I go.
Yeah.
So there's that, and now I'm gonna add that to your little to your folder.
In the Dropbox.
Well, I will in the Dropbox eventually.
Yeah.
Right now, just in my own stuff.
Cool.
Okay, so I put it in references. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna end up with entering the middle way translated in the back of your Gogoroso?
It has to be because he quotes it.
Oh my god, I'm gonna finish that book.
Okay, so here's entering the middle way.
It's gonna be
Nisu.
so great.
Yes. How long is it in there?
There's the verse. Okay. There's the verse he's referring to. Okay.
Uh-huh. Cool.
Oh, opening lines.
Yeah, verse. It's lines 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. So he threw that at the other guy.
Mm-hmm. That's
The,
awesome.
the other guy said, "But I told you in the beginning, and I don't accept that he has a mind."
Right.
And we said, "Oh, so he doesn't have low, right?" He
Right.
says, "Yeah, he doesn't have low." And then we say, "Oh, so Chandakirti is wrong in the opening lines of his book."
Right. Right.
Okay, got it?
Yep.
So you can chop that out, you see,
Mm-hmm.
and go put it in your translation right here.
Because love and only love was said to be the seed for all the excellent crops of the victors.
That's that gets pretty psychedelic.
It's the first debate you and I ever had.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, this is a Gelme Korlo actually,
So torch fire up for it, yeah.
because what creates bodhisattvas is what Buddha spit out.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a cycle of bodhisattvas and Buddhas. Buddhists come from bodhisattvas and Buddhists teach bodhisattvas. And then those bodhisattvas become new Buddhists and they teach other bodhisattvas. And this is part of a discussion about that.
Cool.
So, okay, so, and Dir Yan Deta Sumbe. What's that mean?
Do you?
That over
These were. It's like.
teaching that.
It even says
Yeah.
it like that in the scripture.
Yeah, because it's what it says right here.
Right here is where?
In entering the middle way. Oh.
No,
Nagarjuna's
60 verses.
60 verses.
In the book we're talking about.
Yeah.
I believe that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Now, if you were really cool, you'd go find it.
Right. I am. I will.
But I would put myself a note here
Yeah.
to that by the end of my book, I have to identify where he's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's almost certainly here in the 60 verses. They also mention the low. Oh, we could search the 60 verses for low.
Yeah, it's probably in the previous verse. In fact,
Here's your root. Here's
there is a
your.
low in the previous verse that we were just commenting upon.
Oh, is there?
Wouldn't
Yeah.
Chandakirti also have it?
Yeah, but here, Gandaki lo yemele, in the first line of the last verse that we're on.
Well, I'm in your text now.
Uh-huh.
Am I in your text now?
It looks like it.
Tibetan.
I don't see that. Where is that? Kangi Lodu Yumele. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is Lodu.
No. Oh, sorry. But that's in the beginning. If you go down, there's more.
There's no phone. We just looked.
Oh, you know what?
Or we're in
Lower
something else.
lows.
Oh, that's that Gangi lo Joma?
No, it's your text.
Oh,
Let's look up low here.
there you go. Gandaki lo.
Oh.
This is the verse we're still on.
Oh, you know what? Our Tengyur version is different from this one. This is Kandaki lo Yumele, and our Tengyur says Kangi Lodu Yumele.
Yeah.
So Kappa included the 60 verses in his own commentary. I'm sorry, Geltabje did,
Mm-hmm.
but he may have been using another translation.
I think we pulled this verse from somewhere else though. This isn't from. It wasn't included in Geltabje's commentary. I think.
Oh, and it is not?
No, I can't remember now.
Well, I think I pulled this out of the Tengyur. Okay?
Yeah.
And so this line is not the same in this version as it is in Gyaltsabje's version.
Okay, I guess that was.
So this is lo dur and that was lo.
Uh-huh.
Let's see if there's another lo in this version. Because that wouldn't be the same word as lo in Sanskrit. Okay. And I did notice some other discrepancies here.
Here the Sanskrit is budir.
Budi. That's funny. It's Budi.
Yeah, there's 3 lo's in the Tengyur version.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The first one is lo dur.
Budir.
The second,
Wow.
Sipa mikyu gyundawar loi tongwa gyawani. Your mind has come to see that samsara is like a mirage, like an illusion. Your mind has come to see, okay, that samsara is like a mirage, is like an illusion.
Yeah.
So if we read that line dir as meaning here in the 60 verses, we got to go find some lows in the 60 verses. There's only 3. Here's the second one. Okay. Now I'll give you the third one. Sukhi Ransha Shepai Locho Demba number 2. Those who possess the highest form of mind, who see the real nature of form, are freed from samsara. They get free. Could any one of those 3 refer to the direct perception of emptiness?
Yeah.
At least 2 of them, maybe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, but now I like what you said. I think that dir is so immediate. I think he's talking about the verse we just had.
Right here.
Okay,
think so.
those whose minds go beyond. Yeah, okay. So I think Gyaltsab is saying we got a low right here that we're talking about.
We're pretty sure this quotation is Gyaltsab quoting it, not a quotation that we brought in from elsewhere to put here.
I'm gonna have to look back and see. I can't.
Because he's
It's easy to find out. Look.
kind of be surprised. if
It's
he's
very
wrong.
easy to find out. Kongduchun Nuso. Okay?
Okay.
Easy to find out.
Okay. Great.
Just go look it up in
In
the
the
in this
database.
symbol. Yeah. Is it in the symbol?
I'm trying to remember that too. I
Is
think
it,
so.
it's
I
in
think
the
it is.
uncat. No,
Oh,
I don't think we. It was one of those missing books that we set Cat to find and didn't.
or
have.
it was in the uncatalogue, more likely.
Well, then the raw is probably in your Dropbox.
It's probably the uncat.
It is. Yeah. Well, you can take my suit jacket.
Oh, we could turn the air off. If you want.
That's so
true.
Okay. I have a suit jacket out there too, if you want. You have a suit
I
jacket?
have it. Yeah. Do you want my jacket? Okay. Okay. It is. It's in the text. Gangdaki lo yumele.
Yeah,
That's
it is
good.
Gyaltsab
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm quoting
And he's kind of smart.
it.
Well, he might have been using. Obviously, he's using a different translation.
Uh-huh.
Okay. There may be other differences that we find. He does have. I noticed one already.
Okay.
A different one. So anyway, that's nice.
After the term, I'll do a comparison.
So is booty closer to low or lodru?
Lodru is a different Sanskrit word.
Right.
That's what I thought too.
right.
Okay.
Any guesses what lodra would be in Sanskrit?
It might be mati.
Mati.
Let's go look. Here it's mati.
Uh,
I got the dollar. Here it's mati. Okay.
It's like intelligence. Yeah.
Mental comes from mati. Here it's mati. It's mati. Okay.
Okay.
And
cool.
low is more often. Well, low is going to be a lot of things.
Freedom.
It's going to be 6 different things. Manasi, mati.
But with our Sanskrit copy of the text,
More often D.
low is
Okay.
maybe a better translation to our understanding at the moment for this debate.
Say
This-
again.
Well, he's arguing about the presence of
A mind.
A mind.
Not intelligence.
booty more than mati, it would
Yeah.
seem, which is what it says in our Sanskrit version.
Yeah. And this
Yeah,
Is,
you're right.
this is important because it is the
Right.
way that I've been translating low, because he's referenced it a few times up until
And
now.
this debate hinges on booty more than mati.
Mm-hmm.
So Low is more like booty.
Low is more like booty, which is more like
Mm.
mind than
Not
intelligence.
What about chitta? How's it?
Chitta is more like sem, probably, right? Which
Uh-huh.
is what he's saying. He says need
He's
is
sort
sem.
of saying he's equating.
Here it's a mind, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's not go there.
Okay.
Exploring the meanings, the difference between chitta and mati
Mm.
and all those guys is hopeless. The first Dalai Lama tries in his commentaries of Dhammakosha. He has a small section on it, but it's pretty hopeless.
Mhm.
They're pretty much interchangeable.
Okay.
Okay. Lo, you want to read so I can stall a little bit?
Sure. Let's see, where are we? Lo Yana, right there? Okay. Lo Yana Yul Yang Ke Lang Gupe Yul Chengi Tripa Ma Shiwa Gyuro Shena.
Okay, good. Gyuro. Lo yuna yu yang kelang gut.
Good.
If there's a mind there, then you also would have to agree that there's
Um,
Discourse.
no,
Object.
an object there.
Yeah.
Who said object?
Yeah. Yul.
It's
Yul
going
Chen.
back a little bit, so not yet. The short beard is worse than the long beard. No, I mean as far as kissing goes. I've heard. I haven't, No, Okay. If there's a mind, there must be an object. Okay.
Yeah.
And in that case, if you say there's a mind in the direct perception of emptiness,
Yeah.
then you're going to have to say that
There's an object.
the. How do we translate chupa?
Emanation.
No.
Elaboration.
The elaboration.
Yeah.
Or the construct sometimes, meaning
Fancy.
constructed by the mind, the mental construct.
Mental
Okay.
construct. Okay.
But in the study of middle way, it always means drondo.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, overestimation.
Yeah, this thing that this mountain that you're making out of a molehill.
Yeah.
This, there's some kind of English word. This thing you're
It's
hypothesizing.
like a patterning, like a mental pattern.
Exaggerate.
The implication is false.
Assumption.
Oh, yeah.
Huh? Too strong. This thing you're making up in your mind.
Paranoia.
Okay, this thing you're making up in your mind.
Yeah.
Okay,
Delusion.
about what?
Hypothesis.
Separate objects and subjects. Okay, so do we jondo? Do we overestimate subjects and objects?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And right now he's saying if you say that there is a mind, then you have to say that there's an object that the mind is
No, you will have to say that elaborating, over elaborating, believing there's a subject and object there which are not there, which are coming from their own side in DCI language. Okay, mashiwa, have not been put to rest. Have not been put to rest during the direct perception of emptiness.
Why do you have to say
Because
that?
there's still an object and a subject going on. He overestimates the overestimation.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he does.
This is Kachi.
Yeah, it's a cutting. Did you catch what I just said?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do
Yeah.
talk about an overestimation of subject and object, but that doesn't mean there's never any subject and object. There's just a wrong way of looking at subject and object.
Right.
But it doesn't mean there's never any subject and object. We're not saying that. He's already made that mistake. Okay, got it?
Kind of. But I mean, I think you said it clearly. I just have to get it from the video. Okay.
Now, this is beautiful, and this is the answer I would have given to what he just said. Nyamsha ki sikpe dini. Now, when we're talking about the din, which is sikpa by Nyamsha,
When we're talking about the meaning that is seen in the direct perception in the meditation of an
this
Arahant.
din doesn't mean meaning.
Oh, the
Yeah, it means object.
object.
Okay? When we're talking about the object, which is perceived by Nyamsha, he just made a
Suggestive statement.
he just said something which reveals how he feels about Aryas.
Yeah. Suggestion.
Huh?
That there still is a mind and an
They have a
object.
mind and objects, yeah.
Do I have to offer money now, or?
That their mind isn't pure, or it's a kind of messed up mind.
That they're seeing an object.
Try
Oh,
What lam is he on of the 5 lams?
third.
Third.
What's it called?
Path of
Tong.
seeing.
Tong lam.
Tong lam.
Why didn't he say tong?
Yeah, he said seek.
All
Sikh is high honorific.
Oh, so
Chen re Sikh, avalokiteshvara.
right.
He's saying Arya. He used the high honorific verb. He used the Dalai Lama verb for this guy. You know, this
He's
guy.
being sarcastic.
No, this is us.
Right.
Okay.
Footnote?
I don't know, but I mean, you guys should be aware. He's praising Aryas in this sentence already.
Oh.
Okay, the object which is seen by an Arya during their direct perception emptiness, but the verb he uses for see is only used with high honorific.
Right.
Okay, it jumps out to a trained person.
Sure.
Okay, Sikpe Dunni, it's unusual. They don't call it Sikh Lam, they call it Tong Lam. See what I mean?
So he's making a point. Of
Yeah, he's saying, come on, this guy is special.
Yeah.
Okay, Nyamshaki Sikpe Dunni. Is there, now, if you had a basket with all the objects that the direct perception of emptiness sees in it, would there be in there subject and object?
No.
We're saying
No.
No. The only thing you can see during the direct perception of emptiness is ultimate reality.
Yeah.
You can't even think to yourself,
I'm
I
seeing
did it.
yeah, I did it, because that would be Yulchen, you see? That would be a perception of the person seeing, who is not ultimate reality. So now Gyaltsab Jay is saying, like, I understand. It is true. Yudon Yuchen Kanyam Mebichir. It is true in general that there's
That there's no subject and object, or there's no subject state of mind.
hang on.
He says they're not there, which
Eh,
is
Yeah, okay. There is no object and subject present in the basket of things which is seen by the path of seeing, okay? But kalangyur means how on earth.
Right.
Kala literally means where. Gyur,
Yeah.
kalangyur.
I'm looking for it in the sentence.
Kalangyur,
Shivar,
right here. Kalangyur.
Yeah.
Kalangyur means it's
Oh,
an
okay.
expression of disbelief. Kalangyur, how on earth could it be that you haven't put to rest your elaborations?
Is this skill subject?
Can you say that again?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
How on earth?
How on earth, just because there's no object and subject, generally speaking, among the objects which the path of seeing is focused on, how on earth can you say then that those subject and objects, that the construction, the
The elaboration.
give me a word that means wrong,
Yeah, the.
the fantasy, or the misperception that there's object and subject has not been put to rest. How could that be? Okay.
The opponent is saying there is.
Yeah, no, it's deeper than that. I understand what you're saying. It should have been Yupa here.
Should have been what?
It'd feel more comfortable with Yupa here. But what we're saying is, look, this is the wrong look. Up to Mepa is our belief.
Yeah.
Look, among the objects seen by the direct perception of emptiness, there is no subjects and objects. So how could you ever say that we have failed to put them to rest?
Right.
The wrong ones. The wrong ones.
But they say there is an object. The other guy.
No, the other guy said there's no subject.
Mind.
He said no subject. Okay, and he says, now listen, the other guy said there's no subject state of mind during the direct perception of emptiness. We say there is.
Mhm.
He says if you say there is,
Yeah, yeah,
then the guy hasn't stopped subjects and objects.
yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
And we said nobody has stopped subjects and objects because he's looking at emptiness directly.
You stop seeing them.
Okay, he stopped. They're not what he sees, but they are the seer. Okay, there is a subject looking at an object during the direct perception of emptiness, but that subject doesn't see the subject and the object that are going on during the direct perception of emptiness, because if that happened, they'd be pop out of emptiness.
Right.
Mhm.
I mean, he's not going.
So I'll say it again. During the direct perception of emptiness, there is a subject state of mind.
Yes.
There is an object that it's looking at, emptiness.
Right.
But that subject state of mind with its object together are not something that state of mind can see at that time.
Yeah.
Because it includes a guy who is not emptiness, which is the
Right.
subject.
Again, he's not
Okay.
saying that here, right? You're just explaining that. He's not saying that there is.
Well, we're saying, look, I had Stanley's same problem the first time I looked at it. I thought maybe the may here should be you, but that's not the point. It's true, we say,
Yeah.
that among the basket of objects
You don't see it.
looked at by the direct perception of emptiness, there is no subject and object
Right.
as one thing.
Yeah.
Subject and object. There is no subject and object.
Right.
Okay, but that doesn't mean it's not a subject state of mind.
But does he say that, or is he saying? But that
Yeah.
doesn't mean.
Well, no. What he says,
It doesn't. It doesn't mean that they've not stopped.
good, yeah, that
Seeing
they haven't
something.
put to rest.
Yeah, they haven't put
The
that in
fact
shock
that there's
to-
no subject and object,
yeah,
which is true,
yeah.
if it's true that there is no subject and object, which is the object that they look at,
Yeah.
then how in the hell could you claim that they haven't put to rest that problem?
Right.
How could you claim they haven't put to rest the delusion?
Collaboration.
Right.
Delusion's not bad.
Fabrication.
Fabrication's even better. Fabrication's even better. How could you say they haven't stopped the fabrication? Because it's not, if in their direct perception of emptiness, there is no subject and object, how could you claim that they haven't stopped the fabrication, that there exists a self-existent subject and object? See, it's different. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
A subject and an object which are coming from you, okay, are not among the things they can perceive at that moment.
Yeah. Right.
Now,
Right.
now follow me.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, how can you claim that they haven't put to the rest the belief in a subject and object which come from their own side?
Right. Yeah,
It's weird. He's switching subjects and objects.
Yeah.
The first one
It's.
that has been the one that's not the object of that direct perception is the one that really exists,
Right.
the one that's coming from you.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
The one that's been stopped is the one that's coming from you.
Yeah.
If that's the case, how can you say he hasn't stopped the one that's not coming from you?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's tricky. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay?
It's really true.
Yeah, it's
Reminds
really
me
cool.
of Jason Kappa's.
It's cool because he could have said it much easier.
Right.
He could have said it much easier.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. But it's because it's relating to what the guy just said to him before.
Yeah, maybe.
Explain later.
Say again? I'll say it again. Oh, does he say more later? I just was looking. I hope he says something more later.
Stop with him.
Telling you.
Explanation.
Yeah, then he says, just because a person, just because subjects and objects are not in the basket of things that are seen by an Arya's direct perception of emptiness, doesn't mean that we can deny subjects and objects
Right.
Because you don't see it.
in general. Yeah, de tsamki, just that. To de tsamki, it would be inappropriate, meaning for that reason alone, de tsamki, okay, that they are not perceived by an Arya in the direct perception.
Mm-hmm.
For just using that alone as a reason to say there's no objects and subjects
Right.
is murik. That's bad logic.
Mm-hmm.
That's bad logic.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I'll say it again because half the people in this room are having trouble right now. during the direct perception of emptiness, can you be aware of yourself? No. Therefore, you cannot be aware of the fact of subjects and objects right then. Okay? Okay? But that doesn't mean you are not a subject at that moment. You're not aware of it, but you are.
Yeah.
Okay? You don't have to cancel all subject states of mind during the direct perception of emptiness just because they are not the object of the direct perception of emptiness.
Let's see.
Okay? Got it? You can't see Stanley while Stanley's seeing emptiness directly because Stanley's not emptiness. But that doesn't mean there's no Stanley there.
But isn't the definition of an existing thing
Ah,
it's perceived by a
it's
valid perception? And if you're
Now
not
someone
perceiving
else
it,
is
then
gonna,
it's there.
Adam's gonna tell you why that doesn't prove anything.
What's that?
There's the Buddha.
She said,
Yeah, no, because there's a Buddha. It's
Yeah,
actually an-
because a Buddha is watching you see emptiness directly.
Right.
Therefore, your subject state of mind does exist at that time. You can't unless you're a Buddhist.
Unless you're a Buddha.
Accept it from
No, a Buddhist accepts. A Buddha, you can't. This is not a proof to a person who's not a Buddhist. But among Buddhists, what do you call that? Among friends.
But it's still interpretive, right? Because it's not about emptiness directly. So
No.
it's something that should be interpreted.
The subject state of mind exists during the direct perception of emptiness. One valid reason you can give among Buddhists only is that it is perceived by a Buddha sitting across the street.
Because of authority.
It's scriptural authority.
Yeah.
But he's also giving you logic to see it, which is a type of tsema, which means it exists. But he's giving you a reason, a jepak tsema, of the Arya's mind in the direct perception of emptiness, which means it exists. in
Oh,
the
right.
direct
You
Well,
mean
the
just because
logic-
in the purpose of
yeah.
the conversation.
The
Like,
logic that
even-
seems. Sorry.
No.
Well, if we can't see emptiness in our waking life without being in the direct perception of emptiness, it doesn't mean
Right,
that
but-
emptiness doesn't exist.
Right.
So
Sure.
therefore,
Yeah, good.
it's like the reverse can be true. Like when you're
Yeah,
in
right.
direct perception,
Well,
just
that's
because you
the
can't
emptiness
see the
directly
subject
now.
and object,
We
it
can
doesn't
see
mean it
logically.
doesn't exist.
So
Yeah.
he can't see himself directly then, but we can see logically that he's there.
Yeah.
Okay, so the time is up.
You ready? Here we go.
The time is up.
Let's do the next sentence. Let's do the next sentence. I always want to do the next sentence because I understand it. I mean, I understand the first half.
You put some dollar signs.
Milkshake ngor. Give me ngor. Ngola.
Oh, to the face.
Yeah, to
To the appearance.
what presents itself
Yeah.
to
The appearance.
visual consciousness. What presents itself to visual consciousness.
The thing that
Amen.
appears.
Among all the stuff in the universe
Uh-huh.
which presents itself to your visual consciousness, ja me.
Jaw doesn't.
You don't hear
Yeah,
anything.
sounds
You
don't.
hear anything.
Sounds don't appear to your
milkshake.
visual consciousness,
Yeah.
okay? But that doesn't prove there's no sound in the universe,
Yeah,
Right,
yeah, yeah.
right.
okay?
Mhm.
Just because something can't appear, cannot possibly appear
Mhm.
to a state of mind, doesn't mean that thing doesn't exist.
Mhm.
What's he talking about?
He's going to say that just because you're not seeing subject and object in the direct perception of emptiness doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Yeah, good. And specifically among subject and object.
The mind of an
Yeah,
Arya
subject.
in the direct perception.
Subject.
Yeah, subject.
No. Okay. Okay, got it?
Yep.
That'd be such a nice place to stop. Let's stop there,
Okay.
okay? Because it's convenient for me.
Such a good text.
Thanks, Krishna.
So what did we learn? Just because you can't see your own mind during you can't even be aware of your own mind during the direct perception of emptiness doesn't mean you aren't having a mind at that moment.
Right.
So some people went too far in identifying. There's a thing called overdoing your gakcha. There's a thing you're going to study someday called underdoing your gakcha and overdoing your gakcha. Your gakcha's too big or your gakcha's too small. Right now he is overdoing his
Overgawking.
gakcha. Yeah. You don't see self-existent things, and you see that there's, what you see. Yeah, things which come from their own side are canceled, and your mind is too. It's too, the gakcha got too big.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. That's a Madhyamika discussion. Okay.
Sashi
Puki Jushin Metokram Rira Linshin Inde Kempadi Sangye Shindu Mikte Uwagi Jokunanda Shingha Chuparsho Hirang Guru Ratna Mandala Kam Niryatayami
Kewa
Di Kewokun Sanam Yeshe Sotsokshi Sanam Yeshe Lechungwe Tabakuni Toparsho